Okay, so we are getting started. Can you see my screen? Yep, cool. Okay, so this webinar will be a bit different than what we are used to because obviously I have guests, I'm not alone this time. So the first part of the webinar, as always, is reserved for our newest feature updates. And this time we really have some exciting updates. We just had a very big release yesterday. And after I'm finished with the feature updates, I'm going to drop a link to our release blog posts from yesterday where you can see all the details about the features that I'm going to show you in a bit. But as we don't have all the time in the world, I'm going to leave you to dive deeper after I show you just a sneak peek of everything that we released yesterday. So as I said, once I'm finished, Dan will start presenting some very cool case studies that are hopefully going to get you inspired for skyrocketing your app this year. And our colleagues here, Amanda, Evie, and Jared, are going to help Dan show you these case studies because they are the ones who worked with these creators, and they are going to give you some firsthand success tips. So let's get started with a question, and I'm going to check the chat in a bit. So do you know what are the features that we just released yesterday? And I'm going to check. Okay, so some of you know, and some of you don't know, and some of you guessed. Yes, it's very cool stuff. Yeah, so the people who tried guessing actually guessed, but I'm going to, and some of you are very happy with the new features. That's very nice. I'm also happy that you're happy. So I'm going to start showing you the features because I know you can't wait to find out, for those of you who didn't know. Before we get to the features that you listed in the chat, I just wanted to remind everyone that we also enabled notifications for Ultimate creators. So community notifications that encompass getting notified when you get a message, when someone tags you in a channel, or when someone tags the entire channel, and when someone replies to your comments. So many of you have already been enjoying these features. If you are not on the Ultimate plan, and if you haven't, if you are on the Ultimate plan and haven't received notifications, please contact our support team. But if you're not on the Ultimate plan, this might make you consider going to the Ultimate plan, because this is something that skyrockets engagement in your app. And we've already been seeing a lot of engagement in the apps where we enabled this feature. So if you want to stay in contact with your creators all the time, to broadcast messages whenever you want to, and to reach as many customers as you want, you can do this with notifications. So just again, this is the feature that we enabled for Ultimate creators. So if I were you, I would consider going Ultimate. So now back to the features that we released yesterday. This is one of the requests that we got in our platform where we collect feature requests, called Canny, and one of them was called mobile version of the Passion platform. So we were looking at this in details, and we decided that we wanted to do it. And we are now starting to basically enable all the features that we now have on desktop and more on your mobile phones. So we are starting to build the mobile version of the Passion platform, and the first things that we are going to enable, or actually have enabled since yesterday, are adding and editing courses from your mobile phone. And in addition to that, we've enabled copying and pasting links to your content and to your communities. We have added more styling options for your buttons, and we have also added the ability to change your thumbnails for lessons and courses, which is something that that many of you have been waiting for. So let's dive deeper into all these features. So as I said, we are now enabling mobile content management, but this is just the beginning. And in the future, we are going to enable many features that you already have on desktop on your mobile. For now, you can add new courses or products, you can edit them, and you can pick some of our new widgets that we added with the new possibilities. So I now have a video from one of our developers who is walking you through this feature.
Hi everyone, I will to show you course front-end editing. Let's start from this screen. Here you can see updated view of empty Learn tab for an expert. Now expert are able to create product just by on this button click. Let's start. Here you can see add new product form. Let's create a new product. Firstly, we have to choose product cover. Select image from library. I will select this one. All right, next step is product content layout, and we have two options here, list view and carousel view. I will go with list view. Next step is fill some product details like product name and description. Now we have to choose who has access, and from this field we can attach pricing plan or manage course state. Is it published or draft? If we select pricing plan, our course will be immediately published. If we don't select anything here, our course will be draft. I will left a draft and publish it after I created some lessons for the course. And the next step is templates. It's optional step, and here you can see a carousel of available templates. You can select it or unselect. I will go without any templates. Click by a product, and now our product is creating. Let's wait for that. All right, here it is. It's our product, it's draft, and it's empty. So we can add any content to it. We have two options. We can add section or lesson. I will add section first. Section name and label. Section. Here it is, our new section. And we can start adding lessons. It's pretty similar form to product creating. So let's start from cover. We have two options here. Is it lesson or sequence? And fill content, content name and summary. And here we may set a duration. I will go with 5 minutes. And placement is already pre-selected. Add content. Waiting for when it will be created. Great, and here we have our new lesson, and we can pick widget to add it to the lesson. Let's go back to our course, and here you can see a thumbnail for course lesson. Let's create another one. We can do it from this button as well. All right. I will do it section as sequence now. Content name, yoga lesson, minute. And now I have to choose section. Start, and it will be created here. All right, it's our new sequence. From here, you also can edit your lessons by this click, edit lesson, and you may change cover, some name, for example, for all levels. All right, and save it. And here, updated details. When I feel that my course ready and I want to publish it, let's click to this button and attach a pricing plan. All some of them. Publish, publish, and my course is published now. It's done.
Okay, so just one little note on this video. As you saw in the beginning when she created the product, she chose between list view and carousel view. That's something that we still haven't released, but we are planning to in the upcoming weeks. So this is also one of the new features that we are going to be working on in the upcoming weeks.
Hi.
So just to show you in more details how this looks like, the left screen is your web app, and here you can update the product details. So the name, description, and choosing the pricing plan to allow access to the course. Templates are now optional. You can do the course without any templates, and the cover photo is actually your thumbnail. And in the future, right now, we have made this cover photo appear as a thumbnail of your lesson and then as a cover photo of your lesson. But in the future, we are planning to make this optional. So you can upload a thumbnail, but you can choose it not to appear as a cover photo. And on the right screen, you can see how the same process looks on your native mobile app. And this is the result. So once you update all this information, this is how your app will look like, of course, with your own colors. This is how our app looks like with our colors. And this is how it looks like when you have uploaded your thumbnails and you don't have the icons that we used to have before. Another feature that we just enabled and that you also guessed it in the chat is copying and sharing links for lessons. So as you can see on the screen on the left side, there is a link icon on the upper right corner. And if you click on this link icon, the link to this lesson or a course will be copied to your clipboard, and then you can share it anywhere. It can be outside your app or inside your app. And I think that the best use case for this is when you are adding buttons inside your lessons and you want to take people from one place in the app to the other. You can now do it by copying links to your lessons. We've also added new styling options for your buttons. Just before I continue with this feature, I also want to mention that you can copy and share links to your communities and channels as well. So the new styling options for your buttons include choosing the alignment, the width, whether you want the button to be small or large, and whether you want the style to be filled or outlined. And at the bottom of the screen, you can see the preview of the things that you've chosen above. And as I already announced, coming soon is a new feature, which was also requested in our platform where we collect feature requests called Canny. Some people want to switch from list view to carousel view, and now we are going to enable it. So the thumbnails that I showed you that you are now able to upload will be viewed as the carousel view of your courses. And this is how it'll look like for you. So on the right screen, you can see that you can choose between list view and carousel view. And this is how it'll look like for your users. So the left screen is the list view, and then the right screen is the carousel view, and you can choose between these two. So now I'm curious to know, which feature are you most excited about? I'm checking the chat and everyone's excited about different features or all of them. The thumbnails really help make the app look more energetic. I agree. And the carousel looks very pleasing. I see you. Someone said that they don't know whether their app is updated. So if you go to your dashboard in sales channels where you have your iOS app and your Android app, you can see whether your app is version 3.7. If it's 3.7, then you will be able to see these changes. So yes, your app needs to be updated to be able to see the changes. Okay, so there are a lot of new messages since I started explaining about the update, and I've missed a lot. So that was it from me about the new features that we just launched and we are about to launch. And now I'm handing over to Dan, who will continue with the case studies that we have prepared for you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, so everyone, I was like desperately typing that whole time, trying to answer everyone's questions, but I was not able to answer them all. And then Sarah asked you to write lots of things, and then you wrote lots of things. So I get, no, it's
I wasn't following the chat.
It's amazing engagement, everyone. Thank you. I just want to say, if I or anyone else hasn't been able to answer your question, just pop it again in the chat now. And then maybe while I'm just introducing this section, maybe Sarah, you can go in and try and answer some. And anyone from Amanda, Evie, and Jarrett who's not talking or presenting, maybe you can also try and answer them. And then we'll make sure, you know, I think we should have time at the end to answer questions as well. The biggest, I'll just quickly cover a few that came up a few times. So number one, what is Ultimate? Maybe Sarah, I can share my screen quickly if that's okay. Thank you. I think, do
you have?
Yeah, it's okay. So there's an empty screen. Here's the website. Okay. So for those of you wondering what is Ultimate, you'll see on our pricing page, we have 3 plans: Pro, Ultimate, and Ultimate Plus. We will talk a little bit about Ultimate Plus later, actually, but the feature that is available only on Ultimate that Sarah described is community push notifications. And this actually allows you to receive notifications when someone sends you a DM or tags you in a group. And it allows your users to get those same notifications as well. And you have this cool feature where you can say @channel, where you can tag everyone and effectively send a big broadcast to everyone in your community at any time. So it's an incredibly powerful feature, like Sarah said. If you would like to use that feature, you need to be on the Ultimate plan. We don't have a super easy way, unfortunately, if you don't know which plan you're on. But the short answer is if you're paying $297 a month, you're definitely on Ultimate. If you're paying $97 a month, you're almost certainly on Pro. We have run a few offers where you got Ultimate for the price of Pro for a limited period of time, but after a certain period of time, maximum 12 months, you would be on Pro for $97. So if you're wondering, just pop your email address in the chat, and I'm sure one of our wonderful team members here can quickly check in our system which plan you're on. And then if you would like to change onto Ultimate, you just fill in that form that I linked as well. And again, I'm sure if you didn't catch the link, one of my amazing team members here can post the link again for you to change your plan. PS, obviously, knowing what plan you're on and swapping plans should be something you can do yourself very easily, and we're working on that. We're gonna have news on that very soon. Okay, so lots of work to do in the chat. Sorry, team members, lots of people asking what plan am I on? Okay, so that's the first thing, what is Ultimate? The second thing people were asking is why can't I see these new features, specifically around like adding courses from your phone? Now, this is only available on the most recent version of the app, the most up-to-date version. And like Sarah said, check in your platform in Passion.io, log in, click on sales channels, and then go to Apple and Android and see if you're on the most recent version or if you need to update. So that's for your native app. If you want to do it, even if you're not on the most recent version, you can just go to your web app, which is, for example, let's see, Mark in the chat. Mark's web app might be mark.passion.io. So it's like the browser version of your app. Just open up Google Chrome, go to your app, log in with your email address and password, the one you use to create the app, and you will see all of those features in there to update and add courses from your phone. Okay. And then was there another question that was coming up a lot? What is Passion? What is Ultimate? Why can't I access it? Yeah, I think they were the main ones. Sarah, what number is the newest update for the app? Do you know that?
Yeah, it's 3.7 and above.
Yeah, okay. Good stuff. Okay, so then with that being said, let's go over to the next section of this training, this webinar. What we're going to talk about now is we're going to go into some case studies of 3 of the most successful apps on our platform. The most common question that I personally get when I speak to you all is like, hey, can you show me examples that are doing really well? Because that's the easiest way to get inspired and excited and motivated and know what to do with the platform. And of course, we want you to be successful. And so that's what we want to bring to you today. And we're going to do it with a special treat twist because we have the amazing Amanda, Evie, and Jarrett from our customer success team on this call. And I'm going to briefly introduce them in a second, but if anyone doesn't know, we have a customer success team who are devoted to our creators on our Ultimate Plus plan. That's our highest plan. You get the most support, the most collaboration and everything. And you get your dedicated person within Passion who kind of becomes like your app business partner. And so Amanda, Evie, and Jarrett are 3 of our CSMs, customer success managers. They work closely with a small number of creators. So each of them has a group of like 20, 25 people that they work with very closely. And so today, I'm going to be kind of interviewing them a bit and finding out, each of them has brought an example of one of their creators that are doing really well on the platform. And I can kind of ask some questions about, okay, how did you approach this? How did it go? And of course, with the goal of you all learning from what Amanda, Jarrett, and Evie have done in collaboration with their creators. So does that make sense? And does it sound good? If so, just drop like a Y in the chat so I know that this is landing and making some sense with everyone. Thank you, Ben. Okay, thank you, Julian. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you, Anna. Okay, good. So we're going to go to the first example, and this example comes from Jarrett. So Jarrett, first of all, do you want to share your screen or shall I? And you can go through, you can share with us a bit about this app.
I think you can, if you don't mind.
Yeah, let's do that. And then I can just keep sharing for the other examples as well. So welcome, Jarrett, and thank you for doing this. On top of everything you do, I really appreciate it. Everyone who has met Jarrett loves Jarrett. That's how I'll introduce him. He's amazing. So Jarrett, tell us about this app.
So this app helps to Vitality by Matt. He came to us and started Ultimate Plus in Jan. So start of the year with a bang, if you will. Matt joined Ultimate Plus to better engagement with his users, to have a better sense of community, and just have a better experience for his user, i.e. mobile first. Matt had been running programs for a few years, and he had an audience already, just an email list, no huge social followings or anything like that. And so he came with a pretty warm list, but with the relaunch in an app with the higher engagement that he was promising, he was able to generate a really healthy bunch of revenue in his first launch. So that's how he started his journey with Ultimate Plus, launching his program within the app, and then subsequently did a pre-launch following our Expert Unleashed challenge and generated another 10 grand. So really, really good start for him in the first 5 to 6 months with Beyond Ultimate Plus. The biggest thing, like I said, was that he wanted to increase engagement and have that community. And that's where we really got together and did some really cool things with tracking his end users, building out some fun leaderboards. And yeah, Matt will tell you himself, but he's like, tell me what to do and I'll do it. So we really have just been like brainstorming and tackling everything as we go. That's a little intro.
Thank you so much. That's really cool. And you can kind of see that, like, by working with Jarrett, Matt was able to understand like how to use this platform in the most effective way to achieve his goals, right? So well done, Jarrett, and thank you for sharing that. I have a couple of questions, and if you have questions in the chat, I'll try and filter those in as well. So let's just, like, if you can just rewind back in your head to the first time you met Matt, when he came on board with Ultimate Plus, like, what was the situation he was in? And you know, like, what was his like pain point that he, you know, why did he sign up in the first place?
So I mentioned obviously engagement in that community field, but his biggest thing was he wanted to scale and he wanted to learn how to scale. And obviously we have a load of materials out there, but he wanted someone to be his accountability partner, if you will, to say, hey, we're at this point now, let's do this. And then Matt would go off and get it done. So it was just, that was his biggest want from the program, was having the learning curve of scaling flattened as much as possible.
Yeah, nice. And can you like explain, like, how did you collaborate? You know, so he had this goal and you've obviously done this before. Did you like jump on calls and figure it out together? Did you like, how did the whole collaboration work?
Yeah, sure. The first call it was very different to a normal user coming up to Ultimate Plus, because he had a clear vision, which is something that we obviously through Expert Unleashed try help all creators get to, is having that laser focus. And he came in with that laser focus. So already a huge portion of what we need to cover generally and with being a CSM is done. So we went straight into like, okay, how do we make your user experience the best it possibly can inside the confines of the platform? So we went straight into like brainstorming and problem solving. It was from the get-go. And then because he is launching another program, I immediately said, let's go for the framework of the Expert Unleashed challenge and use what we teach there to launch, because it doesn't necessarily have to be just your first pancake. You can do this over and over again for any time you launch, because there's a really solid way to launch a program there. And then he did, and he pre-sold it and generated more money. So yeah.
Nice. Hey, so thank you, Jarrett. Like, I'm already pulling out some important like takeaways that I would recommend anyone on this call do, no matter what plan you're on. Number one is like, Matt clearly had laser focus on what he wanted to achieve with his app, which might sound like obvious, but many people know that they want to do something, but they don't know exactly what that thing is. And of course, like, getting very clear on what it is you actually want to get out of this is a really important piece of the puzzle. Mm-hmm. We obviously try and help you with that. The Expert Unleashed challenge helps you with that. Obviously, like, you can work with our team and we can help you with that, but try and understand what it is you're actually building, because that's half the battle, is like going from everything is possible to this is where I'm going, right? Clarity is power. And then the second thing I want to pull out is that a lot of people do the Expert Unleashed challenge and they're like, okay, I launched and I made a bunch of money. That's great. What next? And of course, like the framework we teach you in there about how to build up hype for a launch and how to get people talking about it and then speak to people and sell it and all of that stuff is something that you don't just need to do once. You can do that multiple times. One thing I would probably add in there is like, if you only do that and you don't put any other content online, you will get like a lot of offer fatigue. And so you want to mix promoting something, like asking for something, with providing value. And typically you want to go for a ratio of like 80 to 90% providing value, giving, and 10 to 20% asking. When you do that, your launches will be very successful because the majority of the time you'll give. And then when you do a launch, when you ask for something, people will take you up on that. And it won't fatigue as long as you continue to give. Yeah. So Nora said,
I want to can I make a note on that? And that's exactly
Jared,
kind of like how Matt's handled his audience, right? So it's not, like I said in the beginning, he doesn't have a monster social following to launch to and stuff. He's just got a really decent email list that he's been keeping warm for over a few years, right? Nurturing them, giving them a lot of info, giving them a lot of value. So as an example, when he did his pre-launch, when he first started, he launched to about 50 people and he closed 45, right? So he's got like a huge conversion rate on that first launch because of the hard work done before. And it's not necessarily posting 1 million times on Instagram, right? It's like constant, good quality value.
Thank you, Jarrett. Yeah, and so a couple of questions about how to do that. Like when you're providing value, I think it's totally fine to add a by the way call to action. Like you give lots of value and then, you know, comment me if you want to receive XYZ or whatever. And that call to action should usually be the soft kind of by the way call to action should usually be something free, like, hey, get a free trial or get this free case study or whatever, like something that's not like, hey, buy this product, right? So that's like giving value. And then when I said 80, 90% give value and then 10 to 20% ask, what I mean there is like when you're promoting something actively, and that's kind of when you're making an offer and you're saying, I'm launching this thing, sign up here. That's the kind of real heavy like promotion stuff. You only want to do that, like I said, 10 to 20% of the time, because then the rest of the time you're building up that know, like, and trust, that people build that relationship with you. And then when you ask, when you promote something, you're much more likely to get that conversion rate. I hope that makes sense. Okay, cool. Thanks, Jarrett. And so let's just quickly go back to Matt's results because it is pretty amazing. He has like a very small social media audience and he's generated like 27K plus another 10K, if I've understood correctly, or is that included? Yeah, so that's
separate.
Yeah, that's amazing. So like how much did he charge? And like, I guess the question is, what advice would you share to people in the call right now who don't have a big audience like Matt, but think, hey, 37K with like only 40, 50 customers sounds pretty amazing. Like what advice would you share?
Laser focus, like know your offer and what you can actually deliver as value to the user and why they should ultimately buy in. The 10K he generated now, he only charged 297 with the idea, we launched it with like, these are his first founding members going through his first new offer, a new program. So don't undersell yourself in the beginning because he still charged $300 like to his audience. And yeah, trust the process. Like Matt said, he told me what to do and I'll do it. So I was like, here's the playbook on how to launch via the Expert Unleashed challenge. He went and he did it and he made 10 grand.
Yeah.
Right. It's like just trusting yourself.
Thank you. That's so key. Like I've made the mistake a lot of times of like when I wanted to do something in business as well, I'm like, I come up with this new way of doing it and I think I'm a genius and then I do it and then it doesn't work. but just like following the proven path, because like this is not the first time anyone in the world has tried to do something pretty similar to this. And so this Expert Unleashed challenge thing, you all have access to it. I really recommend you to follow it if you haven't already. And it's been evolved over 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years with thousands of people going through it. So it's proven to work. So like Jarrett said, be the student, like get the action steps, because we've given you them, and then do them. And like a lot of people try and reinvent the wheel. Cheryl asked, does he charge $297 for 1 year or unlimited access? Like, how does that work?
It's for a set time limited program. It's like a 6-week program. He does have a subscription on top of that he'll sell them into, but it was for a program, limited time program. But they'll have access to it ongoing.
Okay, got it. Thank you. Hey, Stephen in the chat. I'm not sure. I don't know if you're already still here or not. I'm not sure. I haven't seen your questions because there's a lot of questions, so I haven't been able to get to all of them. But either ask them here and we will definitely answer them before the end, but maybe not like as we go, or just email the support team and we'll answer your question. I'm not sure exactly what your questions were, but I promise we will answer them. Cool. Thank you, Jarrett. Let me see if there was any other questions I wanted to ask. Yeah, maybe, I mean, I already asked about the advice thing. Maybe the final question is like, are there any common mistakes that you see people make?
Trying to do it all at once. Like the biggest mistake is like kind of losing sight of what you're here for, right? You ultimately came to build an app that's going to serve people in the way that you best serve them, right? You don't need to necessarily worry about having this program and this software to do this automation with this cool thing here and that cool thing there. No, you really don't. The main thing is getting in front of your audience, selling to them and delivering what you are good at. The rest will fall into place as you develop it out. That's like my best advice. Don't get lost in the thrill.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you. Lots of wisdom from working with so many of our creators, and like we're really lucky to have you, Jarrett. Thank you. Cool, everyone. Give us a scale of 1 to 10. How much did you like those insights on a scale of 1 to 10? And then we're going to move on to the next one, and I'll try and sharpen my questions if I don't get lots of 10s. Oh, lots of 10s. That's nice. Thank you. 20. Jarrett, we're killing it. 20 out of 10. This is awesome. Thank you. Okay. All right. So I'm going to share my screen. We're going to go on to the next one. Hey, is the breakers, is it Evie or Amanda's? I forget which way around this is.
It's me. But after the 20 that Jared gave, I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to follow up on that.
You're going to be amazing. Okay. So tell me when to change slides. When you want me to change, I'll do it. And then I'll ask a few questions afterwards. So Evie, over to you.
Of course. So I'm super happy to present this creator and this case study, because actually he was my first creator that I ever got in Passion. And being, like the newbie in the company and everything, I just followed the process myself. I was like everything, like going down to the letter. Let's do this course. Let's do this video. I was asking the team. As you can see, I have amazing team members and all the company. So I'm super happy to present this, because not even 6 months later, we have their case study. So the breakers, Mike, you can change. Thank you. He's a pastor in the States, and he's amazing. He has an amazing following. The pain point here was that Mike had a lot of followers, but in different platforms. So he couldn't communicate what he wanted. He couldn't like keep everything under one umbrella, let's say. So the thing here was that he wanted to give a user-friendly tool, because his audience as well is so different, like age groups, like different nationalities and everything. So he wanted to give something that people would be able to handle. And with a good user-friendly. So we created the breakers, which has different courses inside. It has podcasts. It has, we really worked on the community feature, which I love, because that's one of the ways, as a communicator, that's one of the best ways to connect to your users. Even if you create a community for the free plan for people that haven't even started subscribing, signing up to give you money, for example, that's super good because you're segmenting the audience in order to upsell. So this was the 3 key points that he wanted to do, was convert his followings and gather them all in one platform. Create a thriving holistic community, which we used with the community feature, and promote the daily use of the app as well, which we did also with the push notifications and also the tracking feature, which was brilliant here because, you know, like the tracking was initially, I've seen like a lot of people that had like just like fitness app using it to track things like weight or something very logical. We went with tracking here and we tracked how many times you prayed in the day, how you feel after a devotional, how you feel after watching this video. So you can do anything and everything with just a tool. Next, thank you. So he acquired over 2,800 users in the first weeks after his launch. This was like, we were just going like all the time, seeing like different updating the courses and everything. He used the tracking community features in order to promote the daily use of the app through community and support. And he created different pricing plans in order to cover all needs, and had a big success with low ticket plans. And this is one of the reasons I wanted to show this, because I always recommend we of course trust the process, but it's also having different launches, creating A/B testing, you know, like just to see what works, because if something does work, you want to push it. If it doesn't, you want to test something else as well to see what works in the end. So for me, creating like a low, medium, and high ticket plan is always something that you can see, because maybe you'll have thousands and thousands of users on the low ticket that will still make you the 37, 50K or 100 and millions if you want. So this is like one of the best use cases. And also I'm going on Jared's advice here, because he was also the same. He trusted the process. He came like in a very he was very excited, and he came like, okay, what are we doing? He was very adjustable. He was like listening. He knew what he wanted to put on the app, so that gave it a success.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
There's a couple of questions in the chat which I want to address immediately. So
Of course.
first one is like, what were his price points, Evie?
So the low plan was around $50. It's I think 47 if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
The medium ticket was 99, and the high ticket is 299.
Nice.
So,
nice.
but this is always varied. Like, for example, I have other creators that do also low ticket with like $20, and they still get a lot of really good conversions on it.
Nice. And his price points were all like one-time fees, or were any of them recurring?
No, he had both. He tried, for example, what we did was we had like the monthly subscription in order to give access to like more courses that they would add, and also to monthly group calls, which that gives, you know, extra value, or like one-to-one calls on high ticket plans. And he also had packages of like, for example, if someone wanted to just have the content, so they would be a one-time payment, they would just get access lifetime for the content and not the extra value that you provide.
Love that. Thank you.
Thank you.
There was another question in here. Oh, about the community. Is it? Yeah. So someone was asking if the community is available on the Pro plan. Here, actually, we've over-delivered on what we've promised, because if you see here, Oh, we've actually updated it. Okay, good. So we used to say that communities were only available on Ultimate, but we've actually updated this page. It probably happened today. And you see that community and in-app chat is now available on all plans. So we've over-delivered because we wanted to give people access to that. Community push notifications and broadcasts, that's what I was talking about earlier, is only on Ultimate and Plus, okay? So I was just addressing a question that came in from Dr. Anna Luna on that. Cool. Let me just see if there are other questions in the chat, and then I'm going to ask some of mine. How many for the high price point, Evie, like what of 299 or whatever, like how long did that last? Was it like a 6-week thing, or like how do you know?
The 299 was actually we made it into a subscription, a monthly subscription, because they would get the one-to-one, which is very, so it's, again, I'm going back to Jared's words, to not undersell yourself, because he knows very well. He came also to this app to try to have a bit of free time. So the thing is that he goes to events, he goes everywhere, and one of the reasons that we put like the one-to-one time with him on the high ticket plan is because his time is very valuable, and someone that can pay that can afford that, would get time with him with the high ticket plan.
Nice. And what was included in the high ticket plan? So Nisha was asking.
So he had 4 or 5, if I'm not mistaken, because it was updated, different courses that had to do with, for example, one course was just podcasts, so he gave the audio feature there. He gave videos. Another course was just videos that explained like different types of let's say teachings. He had another course that had to do with like reading devotionals, and that had to go around that. And the high ticket plan had the one-to-one calls with him. The medium had the group calls, and the low didn't have any of these. So that was the like main difference and value that you can push.
Love that. Yeah. And that's a good takeaway for everyone here as well. Like, you can sell access to you, and you can value that highly, right? You know, especially if you show that like your access to you on a one-on-one level is worth X. That's a big anchor that also makes people understand that you are really an expert in what you do. And so if you then sell a course for, you know, an automated product for a much lower amount, all of a sudden it's like, wow, I'm getting access to this person that's worth this much for only this amount, right? So it's a really powerful tool. That's like pricing psychology. It's like you set these high anchors so that the thing in the middle seems like, oh yeah, that's a really good deal. Okay, Patricia was asking if he ran ads on social media or was it organic?
So he didn't run ads on social media because he had like I said, he had different followings in, like, for example, he had 10,000, if I'm not mistaken, on Facebook, and he had around 10,000 on Instagram. So what he wanted to do was gather those under one platform. So he didn't need to do that, but I'm sure it's something that we are going to do for next steps, because you can always optimize and go more.
Yeah, love that. Love that. Okay. And I actually wanted to add one thing on that, which is a lot of people go to running ads too soon, in my opinion. And like, I love ads. Most of you probably heard about Passion through ads. So I'm a huge advocate, but, and it's really important, but it's really hard to get it right, and it's very expensive to get it wrong. And so my opinion is, if I was just starting out today, I would not run ads, not in the beginning. What I would do instead is I would try and grow my organic audience through whatever channel I'm most comfortable with and my audience are there. It could be LinkedIn, it could be email list, it could be a Facebook group, it could be Instagram, TikTok. Honestly, whatever medium, it could be a podcast, whatever medium you like and where your customers are generally hanging out, you only need to do one. You don't need to be the master of all of them. But I would spend time there. I would get good at it. I would find my voice. I would prove that I can sell, that I can turn attention into money, because really what you're doing with ads is you are buying, you're paying for attention, and you need a vehicle to turn attention into money. And many people just start running ads thinking it's going to produce money. But if you don't have that proven vehicle that turns attention into money, ads will almost certainly fail and you will lose money. And losing the money sucks and failing sucks. But the reason why I believe this so strongly, and why I really hope that you follow this advice, is I believe that like the best way to succeed is to just not fail, as in not quit for long enough. And quite often what happens is people start running ads, they spend a bunch of money, it doesn't work, and they give up. And like our whole mission of Passion is that you can earn money doing what you love. So you need to not give up. Okay. And so don't go to ads too early. Don't lose money or lose faith too early. Go for the organic thing first, make it work, build confidence, generate that proven engine that turns attention into money. And then you can run ads. And once you've got that, ads are amazing. You can create, generate a multi 7-8 figure business. But if you go too soon, you risk failing and quitting. And I don't want any of you to quit, because that's the only way that you truly fail is if you give up, right? Okay,
Can
that
I
was
also-
my rant. Go on,
Can I
Evie.
also add exactly on that? It's something that, because also my background was exactly on digital advertising. So when you do many things at once, even if something works, you don't know what it is. So I'm the same. I always say, okay, you have organic traffic right now, or let's work with something that is actually free, that we don't need to actually go on paid ads. So let's try to work on that. And if it doesn't work, we'll start doing the ads. It's like you always have to do little by little, even with changes, even because then you will know what works and what doesn't. If you do everything together, you don't know.
Amazing, amazing. Hey, Evie, maybe just one question I wanted to ask is like, in terms of, so you've obviously been working closely with this creator, and like, what would you say was, I guess like, what was the biggest reason for the success? Was there like one key decision, or was there one key mistake that you managed to avoid? Or like, what would be if you could boil it down to like one thing that led to this amazing success, like what would that be?
Hard work.
Yeah.
You know what the thing is, I promise you, I know that there's so many people coming and wanting to create an app so they can be like more relaxed after, have passive income and everything. And that's true, it does happen, but you do need to work for it. It doesn't just magically happen. It's not a golden recipe. It's knowing what you want to do. It's communicating to your future clients why they need you and working through that. So, and exactly what we are, being passionate about it. Because the thing is that you could see why he was who he is today, why he had all this following. So for him, it was just communicating and following the process and trusting the process and going and having this success. So for me, it's hard work pays off, and wanting it with all your heart, commit 100%, don't quit, like Dan says. And yeah, passion.
Love that. Thank you so much. And the app is called The Breakers, right?
Yes.
Yeah, The Breakers. I'll put it in the chat as well for, yeah, exactly, Karen, The Breakers. Yeah. Cool. Evie, thank you so much. You're amazing. And I really appreciate the work you've done for the Breakers app, for Mike, but also for all of the creators you work with. They're lucky to have you.
It's my pleasure. Just so you know, like if any of our creators are inside, they know, but like your success is our success. We're on the same team. And I love that. You know, I always get excited. I remember like with Mike, I was like, did you see your app? It's live.
Yeah.
So yeah, just know that we are here for the good and the bad.
Okay, amazing. Thank you. Okay, so give us in the chat a letter Y if you're with us for one more case study, one more opportunity to learn from someone doing really well on the platform. Does that sound good? Nice. Thank you so much. All right. Then I will share my screen and we're going to go over to the wonderful Amanda. Thank you for doing this, Amanda. Can you tell us about the movement paradigm?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Of
So
course.
I met Dr. Ariane Missimer in February. I actually didn't get to sit through our kickoff call, but my wonderful colleague Andrew sat in because I was out of office. So he got started with her. And then I got to jump in and really help for the bulk of the change. So that's kind of a little bit of how the teamwork runs as CSMs. But Ariane came to us, she had an idea and she was in the health and fitness realm. She has a website, she has followings on social media, Instagram, Facebook, but she really wanted a platform to bring everybody together to showcase, you know, a challenge and stuff like that. So she had signed up for Passion. She was going through the Expert Unleashed Challenge and she thought to herself, how am I gonna get all of this from my head onto this app? So she was overwhelmed. She was worried that she wasn't gonna get it done in time because following the Expert Unleashed Challenge, she was already making sales. So I think when she joined, she had 2 sales, had a deadline of when she wanted to go. So I talked to her. She started February 10th. She said, go live date March 27th. And I said, okay, let's do this. So we worked together doing bi-weekly calls. She wants to help people heal their bodies, alleviate pain. She wants to reach more, create a bigger impact. She had an 8-week challenge, selling it for $4.97. And we were live on both app stores March 17th with that first program with an initial revenue of 13,000. So, you know, she did what she set out to do and we got it done in time. We were ready. And she's just been pumping out course after course since then. Like she's up to 4 courses. She's got her subscription plan ready. She's marketing it, you know, at a lower end price to those 27 first subscribers, and then advertising on the sales page at a different price because, you know, you want to incentivize those people to stay with you, those initial adopters. But yeah, it was a great development process. We're still working together. She's lovely. Her voice is amazing. If you go check out her app, she has the voice for videos, I think. And I told her that the first day I met her.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Amanda. And congrats on the success. That's really cool. So a bunch of people asking questions in the chat, but it's generally about, I think about like Ultimate Plus and stuff. So I can explain a bit about that in a second. So yeah, so you explained what the situation was when you first started working together. Like what is the status now? So there's the first users on this app, and what's the plan to sort of grow it from here?
So she initially started out with that 8-week challenge, and that was a hands-on challenge. So she was very involved. She was using the community to engage with the users. They were going through each of the days, doing the workouts and stuff like that, and engaging weekly with her in a group call. So now she wants to take that program, which was a one-off, you know, group facilitated program, and she wants to recreate it for other users to do on their own. But at the same time, she also has other programs that people can purchase as one-off payments and do on their own. So she has a 6-week gym course. She has a vagus nerve course. If you don't know about vagus nerve, it's very interesting. I think it's like 5 modules that she teaches about the vagus nerve, and very cool. And yeah, the subscription is what she's kind of moved into, but she's also developing that 8-week challenge that she initially did. That was her initial success, and how people can do that on their own so that she's a little more hands-off.
Yeah, love it. Love it. And that's a great way, like if anyone hasn't been through the Expert Unleashed Challenge, that's kind of the model that we teach, which is like that first program, work very hands-on with your first clients, because they will give you a lot of feedback and you can first sell it and generate some revenue, which is good, but also you can then work closely with them, get feedback, and then produce the content they need based on what they're telling you. And then once you have it, you can then kind of make yourself obsolete and you can sell a much more automated version of that thing. So sounds like you followed that exact process here, Amanda, which is great. And it seems to be working as well. Okay, cool. And then someone was asking in the chat, I think, about price points. Vanessa, how much did she charge?
So for the initial 8-week course, she charged $497 per person. And because it was that, one-on-one, they were paying for her time as well as the program itself. And then with the subscription, she is offering that one for $47 a month, but to the initial adopters, she's offering it at a discount, so $37 a month. They have a special link they can follow from an email that she sent to them and from the community that they have access to and only they have access to that sends them through that checkout.
Nice. Okay, cool. And same question that I asked the others in different words, but like, what advice, you can answer one or both of these, but like what advice would you give to a creator who wants to replicate this success, and or what mistakes do you see people making that you think people should avoid?
I would say be confident in your product and your accomplishment. You're putting a little bit of you into your materials. So you really, that's an amazing thing that you're doing. So you really should, believe in yourself, because that's how you're going to reach success. If you don't believe in you, nobody's going to buy it, because you can't sell something that you don't believe in. So that's one of the things that I say in every call. Like in the initial start, I say, let's do this. We're pumped up. We're going to get started. Believe in this product and sell it to me first. And so then they describe, what app we're building, which is awesome.
That's amazing. That is, I cannot agree more. Like, you have to know that the thing you are selling is genuinely, like, you're doing people a disservice if you don't sell it to people. You have to like believe that it's that good. And in the end, what you're selling in the beginning, if you haven't built it yet, what you have to have the belief and confidence in is yourself. It's your own experiences, and it's your own ability to help people, and your own desire to help people, and all of that. So it's the years that have led you up to this moment that you're now ready to launch something, and you need to be really confident in that. And kind of connected to that, one of the biggest mistakes I see people make, Jarrett touched on it, is not charging enough. People like underselling themselves, and it's connected to the confidence thing and knowing that what you've got is of high value. And I can tell you that very, very often when I ask people after they finish the whole process of the Expert Niche Challenge, like, what was your key learning? Quite often people will tell me, I didn't charge enough. I over delivered for what I charged. And in the beginning, they were concerned they were charging too much, right? And so believe in yourself, charge what you're worth. And then once you charge what you're worth, deliver for those people, and they will be extremely grateful. Cool. Marvin asked Amanda, what's included in her membership in the recurring subscription?
Yeah, so I had replied to Janina, had the same question as well. So she has a 6-week gym program, a core and pelvis program, as well as that vagus nerve. So she is selling the vagus nerve on its own as a standalone for $125. But if you subscribe, you get access to those 3 courses and then more to come. So right now the team is actually putting in 2 more courses for her. So lots to come.
Love that. Cool. And then Vanessa said in the chat, a lot of 6-week courses are $2,000, but I feel when people hear app, they expect lower prices. Yeah, so I think that there's definitely something in this, Vanessa, because if you think about like apps on your phone, you might pay $5 a month or $2 a month, or it's maybe free, or you're thinking about Netflix and Spotify for $10, $15 a month. And so my opinion is, you're not selling an app, you're selling the solution to a problem. You're selling an outcome. You're selling fixing the thing that's keeping them up at night. You're selling finally feeling the way they've been dying to feel for the last 20 years of their life. That's what you're selling. And it just so happens that the best vehicle to deliver that is an app. Okay. And it is, because it's on the phone, it's one tap away. You've got all these amazing features that you can't have on a course, like push notifications and community and offline sync and all these things. So apps are the best vehicle, but just remember, you're not selling an app. That's not the product. The product is the outcome, and the vehicle to achieve that just happens to be an app, right? So that's what I'd recommend, especially if you're charging higher price points. And typically, if you have a small audience, go for high price points, because then you only need a handful of customers to be successful. If you have a big audience, and was it Evie's? I think it was, yeah, this one here. So with the breakers, Mike has a big audience across these different channels. And so he can make good money with low price points, because he can get a lot of customers in the door. So if you have a small audience, charge a higher price. If you have a larger audience, you can afford to have some people on a low price, and then, like Mike, have a high price as well, because you'll always get some people upgrading into that high price thing. Cool. So stop sharing my screen for a second. I hope we've been able to answer questions in the chat. I know we haven't got to 100% of them, but remember, you can always email our team, instructor@passion.io. You can always ask in the group. You can always attend these, and I do a weekly Q&A on a Thursday on Facebook on the group and stuff. So there's always ways of asking questions. I hope we've been able to answer most of them. I'll just finish by saying, for the last couple of minutes, obviously, Amanda, Evie, and Jarrett are part of the Ultimate Plus team. If you want to work with one of these exact people here, or someone else on the team with the same experience and skill set, then you can join Ultimate Plus. Some people are asking in the chat, like, how much is it? How does it work? And things like that. So I'll just quickly show what it's about. 1 second, sharing my screen. So you see here, right, we have Pro, Ultimate, and Plus. And on Plus, the key difference here is like the white glove service. It's the done for you thing. It's the fact that you have an Amanda or an Evie or a Jarrett on your team, and they only work with like 20, 25 people at any one time. And so you are taking up multiple hours a week, effectively, of their time, not all speaking to you directly, but working on your app and doing things. And then we have a professional services team who are connected to them. So if there's something that you want doing in your app, and let's say Jarrett is your point of contact, he's your CSM, and you say, hey, I want this doing, he'll organize exactly what that looks like, what needs to happen. And then we have a whole team in addition to the CSMs who actually go off and do all of that stuff. And then we have dedicated people dealing with all the app submission stuff and all of that stuff. So you effectively get like your own team inside Passion, who are basically, working for you on all this stuff. A few things that I've seen happen, like the reason we launched this is because we were getting some people, when I was speaking to them, I could just see that they had incredible potential, but they weren't getting the most out of the platform, and they didn't have the time to like figure it out or to do it themselves or whatever. And so we started saying, okay, we could actually work with you and kind of do some of this stuff for you, and like trying to figure out what that looks like. And that's how Ultimate Plus was born. So the kind of things you can expect, I'll just show you here, like the app setup is done for you. Okay, so instead of us like doing a call and helping you get your app live or whatever, we just do it for you. App Store submission, going through the process of getting your Apple developer accounts and Google developer accounts, connecting them up, we do it for you. Content migration, if you're on another tool or if you've got it in Google Drive or wherever, we actually do that for you, and we put all the content in your app. And we also format it in a way that it looks nice, the colors are nice. We know how to use the platform to make things look and feel really slick. And then, of course, you have your dedicated app expert, CSM, which is, again, Jarrett, Evie, Amanda, or someone else on the team. Yeah. And then what I would say as well is like, you have then someone internally who you can talk strategy with, who can say, hey, this is what's working for the other people, and can give you feedback on your ideas and that sort of thing. Yeah, and what else? They can also connect with, if you're using any other tools like MailChimp or, I don't know, any other tools in your business, they can actually plug this stuff all together using Zapier. So Yeah, nice and easy. Sarah's telling me I've got 4 minutes left. I'm actually going to pretty much wrap it up here. So yeah, I'll just put the link in the chat if anyone wants to apply for Ultimate Plus. Oh, someone was asking how much it costs. So there's different packages, and you can pay one time, you can pay monthly, you can pay annually, and it depends what level of support you need. If you don't have anything, or if you have your app already and you just want us to take it from there. So it varies a lot. What I would say is it's not for everyone, right? You've got to think of it a little bit like employing a team member. It doesn't cost as much as employing a full-time team member. It's cheaper than that, but you have to think about it in those terms because you have someone, and actually multiple people in the company, who are basically running this part of your business for you and with you. So it's clearly not going to be like $100 a month or something, right? And therefore it's not for everyone. That's totally fine. If you're not there yet and you want to work towards it, then that's totally fine. That's why we have Pro and Ultimate. That's why we give you all the education. That's why we have these webinars and live Q&As and everything so that you can do it yourself. If you're someone who says, you know what, I want to invest and I want someone to, you know, save me time and I want to do this right and get the best out of the platform and reach the goals quicker, then Ultimate Plus is probably for you. So, okay, it depends where you are, and that's totally fine. So the link's there. You can just, it's a link to a Calendly. You just book a call with one of the team. You can explain what you're looking for, and we will explain how it works. And as you've probably seen by now, no pressure. So jump on the call. If it's good for you, great. If not, no stress. I want to address the question about thumbnails because so many people have asked it. I want to quickly show you how to do that before we finish up. Sarah, are we going to get cut off at 7:15 in 2 minutes, or does it keep rolling?
Yeah, I'm actually sharing a link to a video where I show how to do thumbnails, so you don't need to do that.
Amazing. And are we going to get cut off, or can we run later?
We are getting cut off in 7:15.
Okay, perfect. So everyone click that Loom link right now, because once the Zoom gets cut off, and click the one Jarrett just posted, click them both, open them up on your phone or your computer, because we're going to get cut off in a second and you'll lose those links. Okay. If you lose it, go to help.passion.io and type in, what do I type in, Sarah? Thumbnail or?
I also shared the link to the Help Center article, but I will share it again. And I will share this video in the group as well, so you'll get it there.
The main thing everyone needs to know is you don't go to the platform like here to do the thumbnails. You go to your own app, right? Like academy.passion.io or dan.passion.io or sarah.passion.io, whatever it is. You go there, you log in with your user, and then you can just go to a lesson, hit edit, and you can add a thumbnail, okay? So we're getting rid of this part of the platform gradually, which is why we didn't add the new features here. You're doing it in your own app. That's the main thing you need to understand. All right, we're going to get cut off any second now. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do join Ultimate Plus, then enjoy that and enjoy working with the wonderful people here. Jarrett, Evie, Amanda, thank you so much for sharing this stuff, and Sarah as well. It was cool. I enjoyed it a lot. Hope you all did too. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye, everyone. Have a good day.